The spirit continues to stand by and scowl at the ransacked barracks.
Damn it! That cheapskate owed me gold! Oh, Brent.
The spirit looks crestfallen. He seems to have even forgotten supposed pain of his mortal wound. Be grateful that you don't feel the need.
Honorable Dallas, madam, we lost a ship. Well, nothing interesting. The barracks was meant to be surrounded. How did they slip by? Honorable Dallas, madam, we lost a ship. Well, nothing interesting. Nothing, and more nothing. This is a waste of my damn time. The Whites must have left something of value behind. I should never have allowed Alexander to take power. It was weak. It won't happen again. It was you who sent us the War Owl. Without you, the Black Ring-loving Magisters would still be in charge. I suppose you have earned the right to involve yourself in Paladin business. Just this once. All this is thanks to you, you know. If we hadn't found out what the Whites were doing in the Black Pits, we wouldn't have known that they had to be stopped. I am in your debt.
death fog? Here? That's most unexpected. Terribly unexpected.
I never trusted the dwarves, of course. Such a vulgar little people. You have my thanks. You have the city's thanks. She disobeyed orders. She knew the consequences. I expect she shall receive justice. The Whites have betrayed the memory of Lucian in the most heinous manner. We've had our suspicions, but you provided us with proof. Collusion with the Black Ring. So we acted to put a stop to their treason. The Order must persist. The Order must endure. The Magisters can no longer have power. The Lord Dread lies in the harbor, but the hammer isn't aboard. Nor is she among the piles of Magister bodies. Should you hear anything, you are of course welcome to bring it to me. But rest assured, your help is not needed. My paladins will find her, and she will face divine justice. Very well. We know that Dallas and the Whites conducted their heresy from these barracks. If they were all working for the Black Ring, and I believe they were, there must be some sign of it in this building, perhaps even a safe house. We don't have much yet, but we will tear down every brick until we find their wretched hiding hole, and then we'll haul Dallas into the light. Not much, at least not yet. Perhaps you'd have better luck, given your credentials. The White Magisters were in these barracks when the fighting began, an entire cabal of them. If we find them, we will find Dallas, I have no doubt. They must have left some clue as they ran. Something that will lead us to their secret little den. Find it! Who can truly know a diseased mind? She is rotten to the core. That I am sure of. Although much as I despise the creature, I have never known her to be a coward. She fought well in battles against the Black Ring. Wherever she's hiding, she will not go quietly.
Order of society, the Magisters say.
I pray it helps. Void Woken at one gate and the Black Ring at the other. We need to stop this madness. Do you need anything more? And? What of it? Be quick. Enjoy the city, won't you? Arx is wonderful at this time of year.
Where would I hide something I didn't want found?
This is taking too long. I'd better see some results soon.
A well-dressed dwarf woman lies on the cobbles, giggling drunkenly to herself.
I wish I was bloody homeless. Then I'd be home already. No, I was at a wedding. Beggars kicked me out. Said I was causing a scene. The usual fuss. The groom's a local alchemist, marrying the daughter of some big-shot merchant. They'd hardly kick out their own flesh and blood, would they? I barely know any of them. Friends of business acquaintances. Invitation only, I'm afraid. Eh? No. Why would I do that? Fine. Take the bloody thing. Now, off with you. I can feel a void walking of a headache coming along.
I can hear voices, but I can't make them out.
Arx thanks you, stranger. Your prowess on the field is already legendary. Be careful, or we'll claim you as our own.
I build a wall and they knock it down. Build a wall, knock it down. Still, keeps me busy.
For the safety of Riverrun, report all sorcerers to the nearest Magister.
Hell of a city, eh? She gets knocked down and we build her up again, better than before. Right there. That's creation. Plus, you know yourself, there's money to be made.
Move along there.
The gate guard stands to attention with the professionalism her royal uniform would demand. But when she speaks, her voice quivers. Something has left her badly shaken.
Move along, and nothing to see here. You really don't want to know. If you got business here, go to the main entrance around the corner. Otherwise, do us both a service and clear off. The gate's to be kept clear. Be on your way. Move along, and nothing to see here. You're late. But if you still want to deliver a gift to the, happy couple, see the guard by the door in the general store. The gate's to be kept clear. You really don't want... The gate's to be kept clear. Move along, and nothing to see here.
She gives you a long look. Then,
this gate is closed. See the guard by the door in the general store. Understand? You need to see the guard in the general store. Good. Off you go.
Clear off. Need to keep the way clear. Ain't no getaway happening here. And if there is, I ain't involved. Get it? Ain't no one going nowhere, far as you're concerned. Now clear off. You're in the way. Good. Now clear off. You're in the way.
So, this is what a Magister does all day. Walk the streets.
Well, hello, handsome. Care to hear about the power of cheese? I've got wheels and rounds and blocks and rolls and possibly more. But my wares are nuanced, with undertones of something rare.
She looks you up and down, then...
What's on my mind? Why, texture, maturity, taste. But most of all, I'm wondering what tickles your fancy. Looking at you, I think it may be power. Am I right? So I have not misjudged you. Now, we've established how you feel about power. How do you feel about law? Specifically laws relating to property and the acquisition of goods,
A glint appears in her eye, and she smiles. Then she raises her hands and shows you her rings.
Perhaps this is the power you seek. I've been waiting for the right customer to come along for these, but I warn you, power doesn't come cheap, even for someone as attractive as you. Are they stolen? Darling, what power isn't? I have my little helpers, here, there, and everywhere. They find me the finest morsels in all of Arx. After all, why should the most delectable of foodstuffs grace only the tables of the nobility? The pleasure was mine.
Cheese, please.
More visitors than last year, I reckon. Brave of them to make the trip.
They say the Divine withers our lands to save Rivellon. I see he is successful.
Good Counsel School, temporarily closed.
You did the Doctor a great service on Blood Moon Island. Some advice from him in return. Seek out Sanguinia Tell. She has much to offer. Dark and wondrous things.
I found something.
Can you believe this school was teeming with students just a year ago? Everything changed so fast. And it's the kids that suffer.
Been a while since any new students were registered here. Not that this comes as any surprise. Just look at this place.
I've had just about enough of... This place is already overrun with addicts and orphans, and now I've got to deal with... what? A vagrant creeper?
The woman shakes her head and sighs.
I should stop caring so much, but the kids shouldn't suffer. They don't deserve this void-infested hellhole we're handing to them. What is it? Or what was it? Two different things, you know. Used to be a school. My husband Griff and I, we taught the local kids what we could. History, politics, writing, reading, a little cooking, a little alchemy. The parents paid what they could. It was enough. Then the Void Woken came, and the Magisters took Griff away to Fort Joy. Said he was luring the monsters in, like my sweet Griff would ever do such a thing. Now it's this. I'm stuck scrubbing Lady Kem's filthy floors in exchange for coin most days, and I don't have the energy to shoo away the junkies that wander in. I spent enough time doing the work. I'm not going to waste any more talking about it. You know him? Was he holding up okay? That sounds like Griff, all right. I'm telling you, if he were here, he'd have this place cleaned up in no time. If the squatters were gone, I could start fresh. Scour the place down, get the school going again. Get out from under Lady Kem's posh thumb. Well, I wouldn't refuse your help. If Griff can't be here, maybe you're the next best thing.
Beryl hums a few random notes, just a few. But in those notes, you discern a crumb of hope.
Mrs. Griff still lets me come over and play, as long as I don't run off too far. Sometimes we do our ABCs.
School's out, I dare say.
I'm telling you, they're just jealous. They shouldn't be complaining, they should be celebrating. A thief that can steal from the Thieves' Guild. I should be their queen. You got a brain, yeah? You understand words? It's a group of kids that steal stuff. It ain't all that complicated. At least, not for smart people. to kick me out, though. All because I took some stupid plate from the stash. I was just trying to show him I could, I swear. Look, they may not want me around anymore, but I'm no snitch. Yeah, you know what? You're right. What'd they ever do for me anyway?
She points to the Thieves' Guild's location on your map and rubs her palms together.
Besides, you're bound to stir up some trouble over there. Ought to be good fun.
His words are hot and black. He shimmers around the blood path. March for Lucian, flicker imps. He will guide us there to the Star Hall. The fog can carry you.
The man's wide eyes flit from one object to the next, the desks, the candles, the floorboards. He is in inexplicable awe of it all.
But Lucian makes the hours wide and free.
My good, wonderful, exquisite man's man. You bring Drudene, yes?
March for Lucian, flicker imps. He will guide us there to the Star.
Ah, I hear enough stories. I see enough past. Every bite taken and memory gained means knowing a new atrocity. All past is past and stays in past. Now is now, and always now. This is now, we are now. No memory and no future time.
Follow not the Catman. His words are... Look over there. Shiny light. Do you see them? The mist steps. Each one is an echo of Lucian's dreams. Pray be his. They lead through the silver puffs and into the hall.
She bows towards nothing in particular and fingers the collar of her priestly garb, then looks at you with dark, sunken eyes.
Lucian blesses me in his own way, fresh pearl. I glide on his breath and feed on his sighs and smiles. For him I would walk the path of blood. He needs only sing the command. I'm not like the Cat Lord, our Hulu. He slinks around and under and over and inside. He would skim the path and miss the blood.
The priest raises her head and screams to the ceiling.
Lucian, my wings are ready. I will flap and flit-flop when your words go blue. Our Hulu does not deserve your warm. I hear he avoids Lucian's tough-maker, the path of blood. He is a defiler of Lucian's will, shine beast. The crypt waits for only divine, devout, devoted. It is not an easy make trial. Bypass the blood and Lucian brings the rumble. Skyquakes across the heavens, what Lucian said. Punishment for the easy walk.
The priest waves her arms through the air, drawing your attention to these non-existent skyquakes. She traces a circle on the floor with her left foot, then shakes her head. You're stymied by the foot gesture, but the head shake is more than clear.
Yes. Your voice. His voice. It makes the airdrops quiver. I am called to the cathedral. I will travel there anon. The clouds should twinkle, as Lucian commanded them. Come, fireflies, he calls us elsewhere.
Place had it coming. They brought the void upon themselves.
Deactivating! A curious-looking puppet stands motionless nearby. The puppet stares at you with a fixed smile. No dust has settled upon its surface. It hasn't been here long. The puppet remains motionless. The puppet stares at you with a fixed... The puppet remains motionless.
So, how's the eviction going? Is that... Wait, really? They're gone? That's good news. Maybe our hard work wasn't all for nothing then. Is there anything I can do to show my thanks?
She pauses and tightens her lips. A moment passes, and then another. She smiles.
Well, at the risk of saying something I shouldn't, that whole mansion is weird. She sits in that drawing room serving tea all day. As for him, well, he doesn't even sleep in the same room as his wife. He has his own bedroom, does Kem, and it's always locked. He's got secrets, you see. Trapdoors and ladders. Where they lead, I don't know, but his wife knows nothing about them. Anyway, you've certainly been a breath of fresh air. You're no Griff, but it's been good having you around.
Think they'll open the shops anytime soon?
I've seen a few traders about the place.
Business doesn't stop for long round here.
The proprietress gives you a sweet smile.
You look like someone who's ready for business. You look like someone with an eye for the main chance. You look like someone who needs an investor. I knew it the moment you walked in here. Here comes an enterprising fella, I said to myself. Here comes a man who could take a sum of gold and turn a tidy profit. I can see it in your eyes. Whatever you're up to in the fine upstanding city of Arx, jewel of Lucian's blessed domain, I'd like to back you, financially speaking. But be warned, I demand security. You must make a deposit. And I always recover a debt. You understand, I'm sure. Will there be anything else? I bid you good day.
She smiles her sweet smile, dips her head in farewell, and turns away.
Trade or credit? That's right. Trade or credit? Credit. That's right. Trade or credit?
Weirdos in the cellar chase me away. You believe that? I don't. And I tried my best purring and my best meowing. I even did the slink thing against their legs. No luck.
Trade or credit? That's right. Trade or credit?
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight. You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
Remember that client? Lord, whatever it was?
The look of surprise in his corpse. I mean, what did he expect?
If you secure a loan with blood, it gets repaid one way or another. Whatever it was?
The look of surprise in his corpse. I mean, what did he expect?
If you secure a loan with blood, it gets repaid one way or another.
I yield to none.
She gives you a smile of the purest hate. Then she raises a hand and begins a silent incantation. You know that she is trying to boil your blood, but she cannot. Her power is gone. She tries to deflect as you tear at her source, but she is powerless and weak and cannot resist. She is yours, and then she is gone. You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
just about.
You people don't deserve me. And neither do those weirdos in the cellar. Meow, etc.
I've spotted something.
I serve all who seek aid, sir. May the gods watch over.
I heard that the paladins killed unarmed magisters. Didn't even let them surrender.
Not too loud. What do you think the paladins would do to us if they heard you going on like that?
Queen Justinia can
Arx is still a free city, last time I checked.
Natives alike. We shall trade. We shall talk.
All those broken arrows. You've got your work cut out.
Get out of here, you dirty Back in business. Thank the gods for Lord Cam, eh? He sorted out them void woken. Now, what'll it be?
I've got what you need. What a pile of junk.
Trouble brewing in the ancient.
Roll up, don't be shy.
I'll give you that.
Shop here for sundries, oddments, and general miscellany.
What's going on? I smell terrible things, I do. I smell fear, and blood, and doom, and death, and something else. Something worse. It's coming from under the city.
Shoot, you flea bag, shoot!
You've got some fighting done, then I've got what you need.
You, eyes over here, yeah? I know she's pretty, but me wife's here to work, not to gawk at. Now, what'll it be?
Now that you're all done, why don't you just skedaddle on out of here?
Roll up, don't be shy.
Friendly Hubert publishes latest edition. New book already out today.
Get out of here, you dirty mutt. Roll up, don't be shy.
Void woken attacks increase. Citizens warned to be alert.
Roll up, don't be shy. Get out of here, you dirty mutt.
Got sword and shield over here.
Roll up, don't be shy.
If you've got some bite in ya, then I've got what you need.
I'm just the one that hammers and such. You want the wares, you speak to my wife Fionola over there.
Some are still good. What are you looking for?
I'm not picky, so long as the arrow flies straight. Oceans and poultices. Tell me
Oh,
what
yes. The town is all a twitter over your escapades at the gate. It's the perfect time to replace the hunting supplies you've lost, yes? May the land sustain you and the wild game feed you, friend.
You're confident. I'll give you that.
Potions and poultices. Tell me what you seek.
I welcome newcomers and natives alike. We shall trade. We shall talk.
Get out of here, you dirty mutt. Roll up, don't be shy.
How's the potion business going?
Mixed.
Very funny.
I turn no business away.
They got damaged in the fire.
You're confident. I'll give you that.
Sturdy bows and sharp arrows, here for the choosing.
Newcomers and natives alike. We shall trade. We shall talk.
In need of aid.
You a hunter? I've got just the thing.
In need of aid. All those broken arrows. You've got your work cut out.
Summer's still good. What you looking for?
I'm not picky, so long as the arrow flies straight.
You a hunter? I've got just the thing.
Be in good health. You're confident. I'll give you that.
Look, by all means, but do not touch the merchandise. Human skin's impure oils may taint even the least delicate of my herbs and tinctures. Do return, should you find it necessary.
Sturdy bows and sharp arrows here for the choosing.
All those broken arrows. You've got your work cut out.
Summer's still good. What you looking for?
I'm not picky, so long as the arrow flies straight.
You a hunter? I've got just the thing.
They got damaged.
You a hunter? I've got just the thing.
I turn no business away.
Hunters, I've got the wares.
All I did was cheer the bride for the size of her nose.
I turn no business away.
All those broken arrows. You've got your work cut out.
Summer's still good. What you looking for?
I'm not picky, so long as the arrow flies straight.
Oceans and vortices. Tell me what you see.
We shall tread. We shall talk.
They kicked me out. But I know who I am.
They got damaged.
You're confident. I'll give you that.
The Royal Guard's eyes widen as you approach, beast in tow. His calloused fingers reach towards the wolf insignia adorning his uniform.
Marcus Miles.
Beast remains silent, though his clenched jaw reveals his resentment. He moves his hand towards his weapon.
Calm yourself, Marcus. You don't know me, but I know you. The rebellion lives. You're lucky to have found an ally here. You won't find many in this house, and certainly not among the Queen's regiment. That Isbel hasn't found me out is a minor miracle.
So the winds would blow me off course, then? Good to know, my friend.
The guard leans closer to Beast, his voice tight.
The rebellion is in danger. You are in danger. Do not reveal yourself here, Marcus. The guards won't know you unless you announce yourself. Your rebels braved the hinterlands, they braved the wave dancer, and now they brave a poisoned court. They need you alive.
He nods to the door, then takes the rigid stance of a proper Royal Guardsman.
The store's open. Do your shopping. So, here we are again.
Ross Boutique, luxury goods and rarities.
Should do a stock take. Maybe tidy the shelves. Oh, I didn't see you there. Sorry, it's been quite a day. You need a hand with anything? Let me know.
If that ain't a bad omen, nothing.
You and me both. Worked for Ross for a decade. I'd half expected an invitation of my own. But even with half of Arx lying dead in his garden, he still wants the shop open. Then again, if I'd been at the wedding... The fact that the boss loves counting his pennies is probably the only reason I'm breathing. That said, it doesn't feel right to be hawking wares with that next door. Job's the job, though. Can hardly leave Arx with naught but empty pockets. Oh, of course. You won't find better in all of Arx. I can promise you that. Not bad, eh?
All safe. I was hired to guard a wedding. Nobody said anything about fighting monsters.
The wedding? Barduna, haven't you heard? I'm so sorry, there's been a tragedy. You can head into the garden to see for yourself, if you've the stomach for it. Not sure how much longer I'll be here, but if you've a need of supplies, let me know.
He rubs his jaw in thought and gives you a long look.
Lora, eh? The boss has been getting messages from dwarves all over, but that is an interesting one. He's not exactly everyone's favourite dwarf. But talk to the guard at the door. I really shouldn't say any more. Before you go, I should tell you, the boss has certain exclusive wares for a few choice customers. You seem like the type to appreciate such things. Thought you'd be interested. Never hurts to take our mind off these terrible times. You'll find we have some interesting specials today.
Nothing sacred anymore. All safe. Bloody void woken at a wedding. If that ain't a bad omen, nothing is.
Not bad, eh? Take care of yourself.
The Royal Protector sighs at Beast, but barely looks up from the floorboards as she addresses him.
If you're here for the wedding, there was... It's over now. So be on your way.
Beast gives you an inquisitive look.
Cut short, was it? Well, then you won't mind if I head in. Royal business. Wouldn't concern you.
Look, there's been a tragedy. Bride's completely broken about it, poor thing. So like I said, be on your way.
Look, Missy. I'm here on Lohar's orders. He said to come and bend Mikael Ross's ear, and I don't intend to do him wrong.
She gives Beast a steady, defiant stare. A spark of recognition lights up her eyes, but is gone in a flash.
Figured I knew ya. One of Lohar's, eh? You're late. But guess that's a good thing. I'll unlock the door for you. Nothing sacred anymore. All
all safe.
Voidwoken, here! And who'll clean up that mess in the garden? It'll be me, the new guy.
Bloody Voidwoken at a wedding. If that ain't a bad omen, nothing is.
Gods, I am so sorry. How could I have known?
She looks up at you with glassy eyes, wiping her tear-streaked face on one brocade sleeve.
A girl's wedding should be the happiest day of her life.
She looks down at her feet. Seeing her blood-spattered wedding slippers, her face crumples and tears spring from her eyes.
I should be so happy. Everybody should be so happy. But before we could even cut our wedding cake, there were Voidwoken everywhere. We barely made it indoors alive. But not everyone was so lucky. I can hardly bear to think of them. Their wives and husbands and children back in the kingdom, left to grieve alone. What are you insinuating? We're merchants, not mystics. You should have seen those void monsters. All that blood, all that death. They didn't deserve... We didn't.
She buries her head in her hands, sobbing uncontrollably.
My lord, I beg your pardon, but the feast has been cut short due to active gods.
Ah, you.
The noble-looking dwarf beckons Ifan closer. Ifan narrows his eyes, but strides over anyhow as the dwarf gestures toward the somber group inside.
Hard to believe you're looking at a wedding party, isn't it? My wedding party.
He looks you over, his mouth pressed into a mirthless smirk.
But I suppose you're no stranger to mournful faces. The Silver Fang, isn't that right?
Look, I know you're him. I know you can take care of problems. And I've got just the problem for you. A very lucrative one.
I intend to be a particular kind of husband. And I could use someone with your particular talents to help me achieve this. I need you to take care of my father-in-law and bring me his will.
The dwarf winks in an exaggerated fashion, squeezing one eye shut so forcefully it looks like his face just swallowed an eyeball. In return, Ifan raises one eyebrow, slowly.
The man you speak of is not who I am, anymore. And I'll not become him again for the likes of you.
Without another word, Ifan turns on one heel and strides away, leaving the aggrieved dwarf spluttering in his wake.
Awful day for it, don't you think?
The dwarf glances at Ifan, pulls you close and whispers.
The Silverclaw's blade is clearly dulled. But you look like a man of action, a doer of deeds. And I have a matter of some urgency I'd ask you to attend to. My new father-in-law, Mikhail Ross, must die, and you must retrieve his will. I will not prescribe the methods you use, but I shall insist on your discretion. Tell me, what payment do you require for this service? What is your price?
The dwarf's hand flies to his mouth in a none too convincing display.
Murder? I suggested no such thing. Now get out of my sight and stop wasting my damn time.
She looks right through you, face slack with grief. She stares at you in horror. You think you see that strange pink tint in her eyes fade a little.
What? No, no, that's not true. That's impossible.
Her eye twitches and her mouth moves silently, but aggressively. It almost looks as if she's having an argument with herself. When she looks up at you again, the pink tint has cleared completely from her eyes.
How could he? How could he? I have to go. I must speak to my father. Daddy, I think my husband's trying to kill you.
That little creep. He won't get away with it. You here to do Dorian's dirty work? Figured it wouldn't be long before you showed up. Wait. Before you leave, how'd you like to make some coin? Then you're as useless to me as a Voidwoken, and barely less ugly. I'll have to fight my own battle.
A well-dressed dwarf paces around the room, overseeing the packing of trunks. He doesn't look up as he addresses you.
Yes, thank you for coming. Indeed, it would have been a beautiful ceremony, if only...
The dwarf trails off as he takes in the sight of Beast. His face goes from soft to stern, and your dwarven companion looks to you for guidance.
Marcus Miles, you should get out of here. Go back to the high seas and sing your shanties and do whatever else your band of brigadiers does. We'll all be better off.
Come now, Ross. Is that any way to talk to a distinguished member of the royal family?
Heh, you're no royal, not anymore. A beast you were and a beast you remain. There's only one reason you'd come to Arx. You're looking for Justinia. Heed my advice and leave this place before you do something stupid.
Look, I can't change the past, and I'm sure as hell not going to apologise for it. But Justinia's in trouble. Big time. And if anyone can talk some sense into her, it's me.
He peers into Beast's eyes, looking for a sign of honest intent, and, satisfied, his face softens.
When the crackdowns and decrees came, I defended her. But when she exiled you, I joined in the applause. But this new plan of hers, I want to believe I do, but death fog? Something's not right, Marcus. She's tuned me out. Well, she's tuned everyone out. Everyone but that advisor of hers, that Isbale. Her quacking all but drowns us out. She's holding court in the sewers, if you can believe it. Go to my wine cellar. pull out the vintage called Lula Bell. It will open the way for you. I don't know what Justinia's endgame is, Marcus, but I don't want to be anywhere near when it begins.
So, here we are again.
Our business is done.
How could my husband do such a thing? I loved him! And what would it matter now?
She nods sadly, gaze dropping to the carpet. The dwarf subtly tries to wave you away, hissing at you from the side of his mouth.
Are you moon-touched? Don't speak to me.
I was hired to guard a wedding. Nobody said anything about fighting monsters.
Something stinks around here.
So much death on such a lovely day.
The spirit of a guard gazes around the garden sternly. Clearly, he's unaware of his demise. The spirit of a dwarf watches the ceremony with a scowl. He tugs at his ornate collar in an effort to loosen it. The spirit of a dwarven lady remains wrapped by the since-interrupted wedding ceremony. She dabs away some tears with a handkerchief.
This bouquet is mine. Get in my way and you'll get an elbow in the eye.
The spirit of an elegantly dressed woman glances around, seemingly more interested in the other guests than in the unfolding ceremony. The spirit of an elven dignitary remains seated in a pew where the wedding unfolded. He stifles a disinterested yawn. The spirit of a dwarven attendee attempts to discreetly sip from a goblet of spectral wine he stashed beneath him. The spirit of a dwarf guard patrols the garden, oblivious to the fact that he's dead. Curled upper lip, lightly bobbing head, unwavering gaze, there's no doubting the spirit's distaste of current circumstances.
Get in my way and you'll get an elbow in the eye.
The spirit of a dwarven lady stands eagerly by, as if she's waiting to catch a bouquet. The spirit shoos you away absently, her gaze fixed intently on the arc that the bouquet is taking through the air.
Come on, throw it! This bouquet's mine. Get in my way and you'll get an elbow in the eye.
You're alive. Into the dark.
Time to play.
Come on, throw it! This bouquet's mine.
What is happening out here? Haven't we seen enough tragedy today? I'm not in charge of health and safety. Wait, toys?
He considers the wreckage surrounding the X-cake. Understanding dawns.
That cake, it came from the doctor, with a letter of congratulation. It was truly a magnificent sight, but the wedding was cut short before we could even slice it. Voidwoken, sabotage, bad cake. You'd think someone had it in for our little lady. Few have seen his face, and no one knows his name. He corresponds only by messenger. The townspeople seldom speak of him, which is strange now that I think of it. He'll open your belly and fill it with jelly. The doctor is in, the doctor is in. He'll rip off your toes and shove them up your nose. The doctor is in, the doctor is in. Heard a kid singing that the other day. Her mother heard it too, and beat the poor tyke senseless. That was funny, I have to admit. Gotta take your entertainment where you can when you're on duty. It's easiest if I show you. Let me see your map.
He shakes his head and whistles as he identifies the doctor's home on your map.
If there was ever a house that was haunted, well, that's the one. They say almost no one gets in, and those who do never come out. Perhaps he feeds them cake, hmm? Can't say I blame you. I don't want to appear disloyal, but as dwarfen weddings go, this one had a tad more blood than usual. A tad.
Come on, throw it! This bouquet's mine. Get in my way and you'll get an elbow in the eye.